Hello, I just wanted to show you a quick video to show you how to navigate around the course blog. I'll be doing another one a little bit later today, showing you how to post and comment and some of the things you'll need to be able to do on your own blog. But for this video, I'm going to stick to the course blog and show you around a little bit. The very most important thing to keep in mind is down here on the side of the, um, this is called the sidebar of the blog, is this section here. This page here, this assignments link, is the key place that you'll be going every week to see your assignments for the week. I will, the first few weeks, I'll send you an email and give you a link right to that page, but you can also go to it right by getting onto the course blog and clicking on the page itself. So what's on there now is a brief view of sort of a checklist of what you need to do for the first week. And what I'll be doing as the weeks go on is adding content here. I'll add it to the top. So week 2 will, sometime the end of this week or so, I'll post week 2's work. And that'll be up at the top. So the most recent stuff is at the top. If you notice here, some of these phrases are bold green. Those are hyperlinks that take you either to other places on the blog. Generally, for this week, that's the case. Sometimes it will take you to other links out on the internet. So what I'm going to try to do is give you links to things on the blog rather than expect you to be able to figure out where things are. So if you ever have problems finding anything on the blog, if I forget to post a link, to put this as a link, or if a link is broken, please let me know and I'll fix it. So this has links to the different things. This is a link to the more extensive post that goes into more detail about what to do for this first week. There's some links to some reading material. These are all on the blog. So there was some introductory material to read for this week. There are a couple things to read about writing. One is this post about the general and specific with some pictures of flowers I took. And then this is the first, oops, it looks like that link is broken now. I'll fix that when I get off of here. Here, it's supposed to link to this page over here, but something seems to be wrong, so I'll fix that. And then there are two things that you need to post on your blog. One is a short introduction about yourself as a writer. If you want to share some material, some information about yourself personally, feel free to do that. But I would like you also, especially, to focus on your experiences as a writer and how you feel about yourself as a writer. There are a lot of questions on the assignment. You don't need to answer them all. They're just suggestions, and you can go in any direction that you want. And then this, the place where you live assignment, is the first writing assignment. It's a short version of an essay. I ask you to try to keep it to 350 words. One thing to notice, let me click into this for a minute. I just want to emphasize one aspect of it. I have had people in the past, let's see, where's the part that I was going to highlight? You may want to focus on your city or town as a whole. If you live in a large city that's got very many different sorts of areas, you might want to focus on your neighborhood or your street, but this shouldn't be just a description of your house. So think about this where you live as a sort of in terms of a geographic area that's beyond just the personal. The reason I had asked you to read the post on general and the specific is I'd like you to think about that as you're writing this. Think about the specific details that are going to paint that picture and the smells and the sounds of the place that you're talking about, as well as the general is sort of the overall atmosphere. What do these things add up to? What's the emotional content of this place, or the feeling it gives you, or the something about the atmosphere of the place. So you want to kind of work back and forth between those two. What the big picture view of the place is, and then also painting the picture. It is challenging describing a place in such few words, so I'd encourage you to look at a couple of these things done by students of mine. And then this is a link to a Word document that has some stuff that I took off of a few essays that are roundabout that length, but also show some, but include a tremendous amount of specific details to really paint the picture. And then here again, you don't need populations of the town. You're trying to capture the town or the city or the neighborhood as you experience it, not as you'd see in a Chamber of Commerce booklet. So you shouldn't need to consult any outside sources, especially something like Wikipedia. Okay, so that's the most important, that you understand that this is where you'll go to get assignments for the week. So let me give you a little bit back up to give a little bit more of an overview of the way the blog is built. We've got a title banner across here. The main part of the blog, let me see. Okay, so I'm on a page here that I clicked into. I want to get back to the home page of the blog. What you do is click on the title here. Okay, so here we get the post. The main part of the blog is a series of posts, they're called, that appear in this central part of the blog. They're chronological, with the most recent stuff at the bottom. The most recent stuff at the top. So this is the first post, which has a sort of general overview of how I'm going to be running the course and a little bit about my philosophy about what English 101 should look like. Here's the link to the assignments page, which brings you back to where we just were over here. And then getting more into the actual work for this week is this post, which again, you've got a checklist on your assignments page. So, this is, you're going to be doing a lot of reading for the course, and I will do some of these videos so you'll hear, be able to hear things, but you also have to be sure to read things carefully and kind of work your way through the different parts of the assignment. As I said in the email I sent to you, this is a very compressed course. To do English 101 in 6 weeks is quite a challenge. This week the work is a little bit less than it's going to be, partly because I wanted to give anybody who's unfamiliar with blogs a little bit of a break, so we're not completely diving in, but we're sort of easing our way in, so you have a little bit of time to play around with the blog. And if anybody has any problems setting up their blog or figuring out how to use it, they'll have the opportunity to contact me and either come into campus and meet with me, or we can talk over the phone, or I could make another video like this. Sometimes if people have specific problems, I can make a little video directly addressed at their particular issue. If you've done the join a class thing, I can get into your blog and actually do a video and show you how to move around your blog to do stuff. Okay, so these are the posts here. When you, mostly the new posts will be showing up over the weekend, but you might want to keep an eye on the blog, especially again with this fast-paced course. I'd encourage you to be checking in the blog every few days at least, if not more frequently. Another part of the blog is across the top here. This is, I may be adding to this. Some of this is from a previous semester, and then I did some editing of material to indicate this semester, for example, the syllabus. We don't have a textbook for the course, so this is material that is sort of information about the writing process, about the research process, the sort of thing that you might get from a textbook. Some of it is material that I link to out in the web. A lot of it is material that some of it is material I've written myself. Some of these, let's see, have multiple layers. So the architecture is a little bit complicated, which is why, as I said on that assignments page, what I try to do is give people links to everything. So if you need to find anything, you shouldn't have to go searching around looking for where it is. You just look on the assignments page. Again, is your go-to place for all the information and links. It should have deadlines, that sort of thing, information about the assignments. And then the other part is this sidebar. There's some contact information um, for me. I have an office on the Fall River campus in the library. This is the only class I'm teaching this summer, so aside from my babysitting obligations, which are sporadic over the summer, I'm available a lot to come in to meet with people face to face. I found last semester in my online class, I had a few students who it took them till the end of the semester, but they finally discovered that they really could get a lot from talking to me face to face that they weren't necessarily getting so clearly from the blog. So I'd encourage people, especially if you're, sort of a face to face person, I'd be glad to meet with people. Or we could try to set up some sort of Skype or some kind of way if it's hard for you to get to campus in terms of hours or whatever. So there's contact information here. My office phone is here. I may not, I'm not going to be on campus every day necessarily, so I do get an email if so I can retrieve voicemails from home. But email is really um, a better way to get in touch with me. But I'll be glad to chat on the phone if people would prefer that. The major essay assignments are here. This first one isn't really a major essay assignment, but I wanted to put it here. These first two we're probably going to do as written. The annotated bib, I may adapt the topic of the annotated bib. I thought about another option for that. So you can look at that. We will be doing an annotated bib, but it may be a little bit different than it's currently described, and then a place proposal at the end. So this is the argument that a research-based argument that will ask you to look at the place where you live, and again in terms of town or city or neighborhood, and to propose something that could make that place better in some way. So again, partly because the time is so compressed here, you might start thinking about that now. See what sort of conversations are going on in your town. As you're driving through town, think about different things that could be added or changed, things that you don't like or things that you would like to have in your town. I live in Rehoboth, and the big issue in town now has to do with funding for the schools. And I have had people write some interesting proposals about that sort of thing. But it can be something as simple as roadside litter, or transportation, or there are a variety of different topics. So we'll be doing some brainstorming as we get closer to the essay, but I want to encourage you to keep your eyes open. Down below here, you'll see below the assignments link, there are links to the different people's blogs. I was delighted to see how many of you got your blog set up yesterday. And I think there are a couple people that were just last night that I haven't added yet, but this is most of the people that had contacted me by earlier in the day. So as you get your blog set up, remember to send me the link. You won't be able to add yourself to the course blog yourself. You'll need to, I need to do that. But these are links that will take you to the blogs of your classmates. That's the way you'll be able to read each other's work, give each other some feedback, gain some inspiration, and get some ideas from what other people are writing about. There are some links below here. If this is kind of the textbook kind of material about the writing process, this is sort of handbook material, resources about the writing process that are generally sites, large sites that have a lot of information about grammar and research. The two that I find myself using the most are this one, Guide to Grammar and Writing, which has a lot of information here. about sentence fragments. A lot of times I link to that page, and other sorts of grammar issues. There also is information about um, um, structure, patterns of organization, um, etc. there. Um, Paragraph level, um, sentence combining, transitions, coherence. So there's a lot of information on that page. And let's see if I can back up. And the other one is a huge site that's very well respected, called the Purdue OWL, which stands for Online Writing Lab. For this one, I particularly link to this page here that's within OWL that has information about citation, MLA citation. And I will mention this one as well, this punctuation made simple, for those of you who may have some questions about comma usage or semicolons, colons. This is a really great site. I think that really, if you look at the comma one, for example, um, it simplifies comma usage to, I think, 4 basic situations when you want to use commas. It's got some examples, and it really, as promised in the title, does really simplify punctuation, I think. So that's a good resource. Punctuation is not the most important thing we're going to be talking about, but it is in terms of writing polished standard written English. It is a factor. Um, the way I use this usually is if I identify issues that particular students are having, I might link you to a particular page on that site to look at. Okay, so I think that's sort of an overview of how the course site works. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be doing another short video a little bit later that will show you about how to move around on your own site, how to add posts. I know some of you have already gotten your first post up. So I'm hoping that most of you feel fairly comfortable. If you haven't used blogs, that at least you're, relatively tech savvy, and they're really quite simple to use once you get the hang of it. Okay, so that's all for now. Let me know if you have any problems. Hope to get emails from the rest of you with your blog link shortly, and we're off.